The hall was louder than usual that night. People were laughing, whispering, checking their phones, waiting for something exciting to happen. Bright lights moved slowly across the stage, reflecting off polished floors and shining faces. Everything felt familiar, predictable, just another talent show, just another hopeful dreamer about to step into the spotlight. Then the announcer's voice echoed through the speakers. "Our next contestant, please welcome him." A boy walked onto the stage. No dramatic music followed him. No confident smile. No stylish clothes. Just slow, careful steps. He looked young, but his eyes carried a weight that didn't belong to his age. His clothes were simple, slightly loose, like they had been worn many times before. His shoulders were tense, his hands shaking just enough to notice if you were paying attention. The audience clapped politely. One of the judges leaned forward, studying him carefully. "What's your name?" the judge asked. The boy lifted the microphone with both hands, as if afraid it might fall. "My name," he paused, then gave a small, nervous smile. "My name isn't important." A few people laughed softly. The judge smiled. "Everyone's name is important, but all right, tell us, why are you here?" The boy looked down at the stage floor. For a moment, it felt like he might walk away. Then he took a deep breath and looked straight ahead. "I'm here," he said quietly, "because I've never been heard." The laughter stopped. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Never been heard?" The boy nodded. "In my house, in my school, in my life. My voice was always something people ignored." Another judge leaned in. "And what will you do for us tonight?" The boy swallowed. "I will tell my story," he said. "And then, I will sing." Some audience members shifted in their seats. Everyone had a story. Everyone thought their pain was unique. The music hadn't started yet, but the boy began speaking. "I was born in a home where silence was safer than words," he said. "When I talked too much, I was told to stop. When I cried, I was told to be strong. When I dreamed, I was told to be realistic." His voice was soft, but steady. "My father worked all day. My mother worked all night. They were tired. Not bad people, just tired. And tired people don't listen very well." The audience grew quiet. "I learned early that if I wanted to survive, I had to disappear." He paused, gripping the microphone tighter. "At school, I was the quiet kid. The one teachers forgot to call on. The one classmates didn't choose for teams. I sat in the back, watching others laugh, wondering how it felt to be seen." One judge's expression changed. "I wasn't bullied," the boy continued. "That would have meant someone noticed me. I was invisible, and invisibility hurts more than hate." The hall was silent now. "I found my voice in the only place no one could stop me, when I was alone." He smiled faintly. "At night, when everyone slept, I would whisper stories to myself. I would sing quietly into my pillow so no one could hear. I didn't sing because I was good. I sang because it made the pain quieter." The boy took a shaky breath. "But life doesn't get easier just because you're quiet." He told them about working small jobs after school. About helping his parents. About giving up dreams before they fully formed. About watching others chase their passions while he learned how to survive. "I told myself my dreams were selfish," he said. "That wanting more was wrong." One judge wiped their eye. "There were days I thought my voice didn't matter at all," the boy continued. "Days I thought the world would sound exactly the same if I never spoke again." The audience leaned forward. "Then one day," he said, "I heard someone singing on the radio. Not perfectly, not loudly, but honestly." His eyes shone. "And for the first time, I thought, maybe my voice doesn't need permission." A long pause. The boy looked at the judges. "I'm not here to win," he said. "I'm here because tonight, I want to exist." The hall was completely silent. The judge cleared their throat. "Whenever you're ready." The music began. Soft, slow, simple. The boy closed his eyes. At first, his voice trembled. It was quiet, fragile, like it might break at any moment. A few people exchanged looks. Then something changed. The trembling turned into emotion. The fear turned into honesty. His voice wasn't perfect, but it was real. He sang about being unheard. About being overlooked. About screaming inside while smiling outside. Every word felt lived, not learned. The audience stopped breathing. As the song grew stronger, so did he. His shoulders relaxed. His grip on the microphone loosened. For the first time, he wasn't trying to hide. He sang about a child who swallowed his tears. About a teenager who buried his dreams. About a person who almost disappeared. Somewhere in the crowd, someone began to cry. The chorus came, and it hit like a wave. He sang louder now, not shouting, but claiming space. Claiming air. Claiming existence. The judges stared in disbelief. This wasn't just a performance. It was a confession. When the final note faded, the boy stood still, eyes closed, breathing hard. For a moment, there was nothing. Then, the entire hall exploded into applause. People stood, cheered, cried. Some covered their mouths in shock. Others clapped above their heads. The boy opened his eyes. He looked confused, almost afraid. The applause didn't stop. One judge stood up, another followed. Soon, all of them were standing. The boy's hands began to shake again, but this time, for a different reason. The first judge spoke, voice breaking. "You said you've never been heard," they said. "Let me be very clear, tonight, the whole world heard you." The second judge smiled through tears. "You didn't just sing," they said. "You told a story millions of people are living silently." The third judge leaned forward. "Your voice matters," they said firmly. And it always did. The boy tried to speak, but no words came out. He nodded, tears falling freely now. For the first time in his life, no one told him to stop. The host walked onto the stage. "Do you realize what you just did?" they asked gently. The boy shook his head. "You reminded people that silence can be loud," the host said. "And that every unheard voice deserves a moment." The judges voted, yes, yes, yes. The lights dimmed as the boy walked off stage, still shaking, still crying, still unsure if this was real. Backstage, he sat alone for a moment. He touched his chest. For the first time, his heart felt light. Not because life had changed instantly, but because he had finally spoken. That night, his performance spread across the internet. Millions watched, millions shared, millions said, "This is my story." People who had never spoken. People who had never sung. People who had been invisible. They saw themselves in him. And somewhere, in a quiet room, the boy smiled, knowing that his voice had found its way home.